summarise this as quickly as possible, really, just because it might help out with the discussion that we've got on Friday morning. So this is the first page of the site as we've set it up. This is what candidates will be directed towards. Everyone that's registered within the scheme at the moment will be given a username, which will be their password, their email address, and a password so that they can log on to the system. For new members, they need to go up into this sign up area here, and in here they just need to fill in all of these bits, contact numbers and things. The date of birth is required because some of the rules that we've got set in stop people from under 18 having access to it. The email address is going to be your sign-in, so you need to be careful typing in your password because you only get the one shot at that, and then your address and everything. Then we get this bit about agreeing for various GDPR things, so we'll need to write something to go in here and tick the boxes to accept it, and then click continue, and this is us into the system. So you'll get this flash up thing to start with various tutorial links and things. To be honest, I don't think they go anywhere at the moment, but this is it. So we can see our details are here, they're summarized on the side. We've got some weird things like this add a family member, which is not a function that we're going to look at, and clubs at the side here, which we've stopped people from being able to do anything with. But then we've got a whole raft of things around this area and this area that we need to look at. We can add photographs if we want, so a candidate can put a picture of themselves up so we know who they are, and that picture can be used in a couple of other different places as well. We've got things like emergency contact details. We can decide how we want to play this, but they're core to the system, so we can't actually remove them. Here's our opt-in bits about newsletters and whatnot. And then these two here are the really critical ones. So we've got credentials and we've got qualifications. So a credential is basically a stepping block towards making or obtaining a qualification. So a credential, for example, in our scheme would be a cave leader training course or a module 1 assessment. And then when you work your way through the credentials, you get awarded a qualification. Now the system's set up that people can actually add their own credentials to it. So we should have most people's credentials and qualifications put into the system through downloading it from Mary's database. However, if things are missing, people have got the opportunity to go in here and add a credential, and they can pick them off the sides here, so they can pick whichever credential they want. This is the full list of things that we've got set up. We'll need to chat through these at some point, and I can just add that. Now I need to write some information on it. So I need to say who the course provider was, when it happened. You can see that some of these have got expiry dates on them that we've set for ever, and you need to upload some evidence to prove that that you actually did attend that course. So I'm just going to upload anything here, and that's that. And you can see that state there is pending. So basically Mary will get alerted about this, and she will need to go in, check that bit of evidence that's been produced is accurate, and then she can either approve or she can deny that credential. Other bits and pieces to have a look at, members details. So here we can people can type in their own BCA numbers if they want. We can pull through from Mary's database, or we will be pulling through from Mary's database, people's historic registration numbers and dates. So some of these can go onto certificates. There is this section here which will house the comments from an update workshop, and those comments will also get printed onto a certificate. Now the candidate can't actually change these, but a trainer assessor can. And then we've got these two buttons at the bottom here, and we'll probably try to move those into that opt-in page, the flash screen that we store at the start, and we can tick these, and this will basically then advertise our or this candidate on an open area of the website, so where an employer can come in and have a look at it. I'll just show you these down the bottom here. There's some links here. So this one's set to take you to the BCA website, this one to the BCA's Facebook page, this one takes you to the training section of the BCA website, this one takes you to that coach lookup, which I'll show you in a second, and this one sends an email to Mary. I haven't told her about that bit yet. So we can have a quick look at this. If we go to coach lookup, and you can see that anyone who's authorized their themselves to go on here will get advertised. So this is still in a test phase at the moment. So that's that. Then there's the next tile here, or the next tab here. We can log candidates' feedback from any training and assessment courses. And we've just stuck at the moment with the kind of core courses, right the way up to CIC for now. Now you can see that, again, the candidate can't actually change any of those things, only a trainer and assessor can. And here then we've got the cave systems that people are qualified for. So these boxes will be ticked, and these pull through then onto the certificates. So we've got the various different regions all the way down here. Okay, but the main one we want to look at here, and this is the topic of discussion for Friday morning, is along the registration phase. So memberships, these are where people need to buy into the scheme. So at the moment, somebody can do this stage, so register themselves onto the Go membership system, but they're not actually registered with the scheme. And so for that to happen, people need to pay some money. So they need to go in here and buy this membership license. And you can see here that, it says that you must register within the scheme, and we've put a cost on here at the moment at 70 quid. So we need to have a discussion about that. So click on that. And you can see that we've got an option of buying a logbook. So this is another topic of conversation for us, really, in do we want to include the price of the logbook in the registration fees, or do we want people to opt to buy them as an added extra, and then what are we going to charge? And £5 is not enough. That just about covers the cost of the logbook. Candidate can at this stage, if they want, type in a BCA number and click finish, going to pay. So the wonderful thing with this system now is that it'll take payments through the website. So we can pay with a card, or we can pay by bank transfer if you want. And we have got a test card system set up here. You have got to put a valid year on it. So that's me paying for that membership now. So that's all set up. So if we go back to my profile. So what we can see here is if we click on membership, we can see that that's active. We've got another membership criteria here, or option here, which is for trainer assessors, and this is where trainers and assessors can go in and pay for their annual fee. You can see that this isn't available to this particular candidate because they haven't met the prerequisites, that being they haven't got the appropriate qualifications to be able to access that particular bit of membership. So some other bits and pieces to look at. We'll come to events and courses in a minute. My profile is where we're at now, and membership we've had a look at already. That's the membership areas here, look. But we've also got the menu at the top left, and that gives us a couple of different tiles. So again, these we've looked at. The payment cart, you'll see is empty at the moment because there's nothing in there. You can see your historic payments. It's gone through here. Documents we haven't really played around with. We've put some things in to mess about with it, but it's somewhere that you could put documents if you wanted for everyone to access. inquiries, to have a little chat about, send messages to Mary. Course authorization, if I tick on that, you can see that it doesn't give me access to it because I'm not a trainer assessor. So need to correct that spelling. But we'll come on to that later. But what I do want to look at is events and courses. So this is where somebody who's registered within the scheme can look to join a training or an assessment course. And there's two ways that we can go about this. So either a candidate can log themselves onto a training course. So a trainer and assessor can direct them towards the website and say, log on to my course there, please. Or a trainer and assessor can log a candidate onto a course independently. So we'll have a little look at both of those routes in a minute. So these are broken down by region, so you can click on that and then you can see that we've got the different regional ties here. So this is another topic for us to chat about really, and how we want this to look. So you can see I've put some photographs of some cave systems for the different regions here, or we can just have these kind of these little logo tile things. I've got to be honest, my preference would be good to go for photos. I think it'd be great if we could get some cool photos for each of the different regions, but that's a topic for discussion. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to switch in to a different user. So I've got a couple of different test accounts set up here. So I'm going to go into this user, and this user is already registered within the scheme, and this particular user has got a healthy raft of credentials that are all active, look, and also some qualifications. But critically, they've got the trainer assessor qualification, which means that this guy can go into the course authorization tile. So this area is for trainer and assessors, and this is where they can log and register their courses. So so our expectation would be that people register a course prior to running it, or at least that's my suggestion. So here we fill out the information about a course. So we get a drop-down menu with the lists of the courses that we can run. So I'm going to just set up a cave leader training, and then that gives us a subgroup, and you can see there's just 2 cave leader trainings events. We've got this one here, and then we pick the region as well. So we'll run this in South Wales. So we need to put a start date, and we need to put an end date, and we need to put a booking deadline date into the system here. And then we've got to put the course location. So this is where the course will be held. So I can put whatever I want down here. And if I put a proper address in, the system will look up the longitude and latitude, and it will put a pin on the map to show where that place is. So I can put in my email addresses and whatnot all in there. If we scroll down a bit as well then, so we've got this bit here. This has got some generic information that we need to pull together about each course. And as a course provider, what I can do is I can actually go in here and I can put some course info into that box if I want, and I can write whatever I want and mess around with the font and all those sorts of things. Still looks bold up. And then right down the bottom is this discrete little button here. This one I can uncheck. It's checked by default because this shows that the course is actually, or puts the course on the website. So if it was a closed course, for example, so if I had 6 candidates on my training course already, I can still register the course, and I need to register the course, but just not advertise the fact that it's there on the website. So click next, agree to the various GDPR bits and bobs, click submit, and there we go, that course is authorized. So now I'm just going to chop back to my my trainer or my candidate here, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to see if that course is found its way into the system. So there it is, in Llanrwst, and I can click on that, see that it's put a pin on the map showing where it's going to be. It's pulled out some location information, some information about the trainer assessors who's delivering it, that generic information. There's that little bit that I typed in earlier. So we need to decide what we're gonna write here. So, my suggestion is we use this to replace the handbook. This information incidentally is emailed to the candidate on booking as well. So I can go in here, you can see that the price is free, add it to the cart, pay up for the princely fee of absolutely nothing, and that's me booked onto the course. So now if I hop back in and have a look at my trainer and assessor, and if I go in and click on this area here, I can see that I have got somebody booked onto this course. I can add more members if I want. I can add them manually, but to do that I need some information about the candidate. So I need their membership number, their first name, their last name, and their date of birth, and that's it. So we don't need any addresses or any other information. So so this is great in that it deals with a whole load of things with regards to GDPR. So with somebody booked onto a course, I can go in here, double click on them, open up their information. So here he is, my course member, and I've got all these little tiles along the side here. So in here, this is where I can type in information about the different stages. So I've just done a cave leader, so I can type in my course details here and whatever I want about them. If it was an assessment course or whatnot, I can be ticking the caves or mines that that my candidate is qualified to now work in. So all that happens here, and then I can pass them or I can fail them. So this candidate has now gone to pass, and that's that. Once a TA has done all their candidates, then they go to next and submit, and that will close off the course. So I'm not going to do that just yet. So I go back to my okay, so if I go into this guy now, go into the credentials, and then we can see that credential was added to them. What I forgot to show there actually was under the members details now. If we have a little look, you can see that the course feedback has come through, and you can't, the candidate can't change it, and equally their cave systems have been ticked through there. What we will have and what we haven't got in this demo version is then the ability for a candidate to actually download their certificate, which will pull through on qualifications to get emailed to them, but also they'll be able to download it from the system. So I think that's it now.